We've arrived in Patagonia. Patagonia is a region that spans 1 million square kilometers in the southern tip of South America between Chile and Argentina. One of the best places to experience everything that Patagonia has to offer is Torres del Paine National Park in southern Chile. We were blown away by its natural beauty of granite peaks, massive glaciers, and surprising wildlife encounters. So we want to take you on a journey to see some of the beauty of Torres del Paine to help you plan your trip to this exciting South American destination. We spent 3 days exploring with Exodus Travels and saw all of the highlights that the park has to offer. Staying at Hotel de Paine, just outside of the national park boundary, allowed us to see plenty of sights in a short amount of time.
Well, this is superb. We are staying at Hotel del Paine, just outside the park, like literally just outside. And I have this spectacular view of the lake in front of me, these wonderful cabins. It's a really serene setting and a great place to spend 2 nights.
Hotel del Paine is just 3 kilometers from the national park, and you can book half board that includes buffet breakfast and dinner. They have a great wine list, quiet seating areas, board games, and well-appointed cabins with views of Pine Massif. You can book excursions from the hotel, but many organized tours also stayed here, including our Exodus Travels group. Nice!
Oh my God, we just saw Puma.
Oh man, I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe it when the driver said it. It was amazing.
I know, we were driving along and our guide said that we're going to go this route because our driver said that there's some pumas sometimes spotted along here. And Dave was like, yeah, right.
I don't think so. There's no way where we're driving along the road that we're going to see these elusive animals.
I know, I never thought I'd see one. And then just a couple minutes later, the driver yelled, Puma! And there we saw a family of 3, a mom and 2 cubs.
Yeah,
amazing.
Wow, what a rare experience to have here in Torres del Paine. Amazing.
It used to be quite rare to see pumas in Torres del Paine, but today it is the best place to see pumas in the wild. Torres del Paine has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1978, and the wildlife is protected.
It has its own Big 5, just like Africa, that you can keep an eye out for. It not only has the puma, but it has the Andean condor that we saw flying in the distance overhead, the South Andean deer, or huemul, Darwin's rhea, which is a large flightless bird that reminded me a bit like an ostrich or an emu, and the guanaco, which is closely related to the llama and alpaca family. You'll see a lot of guanacos.
Hiking in the rain in Patagonia.
There are several hikes you can do besides the W Trek or the O Circuit, and a nice short hike for views of the towers is out to the Salto Grande waterfall.
Where are these waterfalls?
Salto Grande is a powerful waterfall that is an easy hike from the main road. This is the largest waterfall in Torres del Paine and definitely worth stopping to see its large drop or step from the Pine River to the Pejo Lake.
We have come to the incredible Cascada Peñas. This is a really beautiful tiered waterfall, and hey, the towers are right in the back. It's spectacular, one stop after another.
Another popular waterfall to see is the Cascadas Paine. It has great views of the 3 towers and is located right off the road. Make sure to take a walk up to see the full view from above, as it's easy to just take a quick look from the parking lot, but we love seeing its unique rock formations up close.
We are at Lake Gray and we are about to go on the catamaran to see the Lake Gray Glacier. This is what National Geographic called one of the 8th wonders of the world.
Check out that view. The Lake Gray tour begins at Hotel Lago Gray. We didn't stay here, but it is a beautiful hotel with views of the lake and glacier. The trip begins with a short hike out to the Catamaran, where you'll depart for a 3-hour tour of the glacier. This tour is not to be missed when visiting Torres del Paine.
So to get out to the Catamaran on Grey Glacier, it's about a 20-minute walk, I think. Walk along a trail, then we walk along the beach.
Once on board, you are free to choose whichever seat you like. We had some rough weather that day and had to sit inside during our trip out, but Dave and I hiked fast so that we could get a front row seat. But really, any seat will do.
We may not go outside, but at least we get a Pisco Sour. A Pisco Sour is Chile's national drink, and one Pisco Sour is included with your ticket. You can purchase more if you like, and on the way back, they even make it with fresh ice from the glacier.
Well, I'm going to have another Pisco Sour because we're getting pure glacial ice here. So just any excuse for another drink, right?
You got it. Ooh, I like it.
Well, it was a bumpy ride to get out here, but the captain has let us out for a bit. I'm not sure if we're allowed to stay out for a while or if we're just while we're stopped, but we're out on deck.
All right, we made it here to the glacier. Some really blue ice, kind of a lousy day, but a fun boat ride.
Well, this is spectacular. I thought we only had 2 glaciers to see, but we're going to a 3rd. Wow.
Once we arrived at the glacier, the captain let us out on deck to view all 3 lobes of the Grey Glacier. This giant glacier is 28 kilometers long and 6 kilometers across, and we had a front row seat to view its beautiful shades of blue.
You know, these glaciers here, they're so clean and blue. I've seen a lot of them where they're really dirty. And this is really fresh and clean. No wonder it's the 3rd place in the world for the most fresh water. All right, we ended up getting outside for a little bit and saw the glaciers and the icebergs. It was fantastic. A little windy, a little chilly, but worth it.
One of the most popular day trips to Torres del Paine is to stop at the main viewpoints to see the famous 3 towers of the national park.
We have come to Lake Azul, which is known for its beautiful reflections of the towers. And today we're quite lucky. It's very still and there's not a lot of people around. So you can really see the reflections of the mountains and the towers in this lovely little lake.
By far the best time to see the towers is in the morning, as the clouds often roll in by afternoon. There are plenty of stops to view the famous towers of Torres del Paine. Torres actually means towers in Spanish, and the 3 towers dominate the national park. Many people often take a hike to the viewpoints or do the rugged W trek, but we had limited time, so we spent the morning taking in all of the different viewpoints on our tour. We're off to check out the Milodon Caves. I think that's how you say it.
Well, the caves cost 8,400 pesos to get in, and you can only pay by credit card. And they do give a 2,000, for 2 of us, it was a 2,000 peso credit card fee. So I think that's why it's pay by credit card only.
The Milodon Cave is a historical monument of Chile and is worth stopping to see on your way back to Puerto Natales. Big cave. The trail takes you into a huge cavern that is 30 meters high and 200 meters deep. A large prehistoric animal greets you when you enter, and that is because this cave is more than 10,000 years old. It's kind of cool to see this big open space.
It is cool to come inside and walk around the cave. There's a whole path that takes you around this massive dwelling.
You can follow the path inside to see what it was like thousands of years ago as prehistoric people used it as protection from the elements. A trip to Patagonia is truly one for the bucket list. To truly appreciate Torres del Paine, we recommend a week to 10 days, but if you're doing a grand tour of Chile like we did and only have a few days, you can easily see the highlights of the national park in 3 days. And that was our tour of Torres del Paine in Chile's Patagonia. If you enjoyed our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on that bell for notifications because you're going to want to see where we go next.